Hi, my name is Emaleigh Osborn, and my problem of practice was to find ways to make conceptually difficult problems more accessible to students. I wanted to use simulations to do that. At the beginning of my research, I thought that I was going to use multiple sources of simulations, but then I decided that that would introduce confounding variables into my research. So instead, I just chose to focus on PhET. And this is 100% fully funded, free program from the University of Colorado at Boulder. So I have two sections of freshman science at my school, and I decided it would be more ethical to allow one class to do the simulations and the other to not do the simulations instead of trying to pick and choose in each class. However, being a teacher and being soft-hearted, I went ahead and let the control group do the simulations after the quiz was finished. And this allowed them to still experience it without interrupting my research. So my control group remained intact. And the idea was to do one simulation per unit. And my goal was to have more than 5, but unfortunately due to school being called off, I only got to 5 simulations with this. The quizzes were given to both classes. However, the grades were just given as participation because I didn't want to have that interfering with my research as well. The first simulation that we did was called the balancing act, and here we explored different masses, and this was at the very beginning of our physics unit. So we just looked at the different masses and how exactly that they affect each other. The second simulation that we looked at was friction, and this was focusing on the molecules during a friction interaction. You can also see that we investigated temperature as well. This simulation was probably the most favorite of the students. It's called Energy Skate Park. It's called Basics. There's another one that we played after this that allowed them to create their own track, and they really loved that. And this was helping us look at friction and speed. The fourth simulation that we did was Forces in Motion Basics. Same thing with it. It's called Basics, but the additional simulation just allows them to have a little more creative freedom in what they do. Here we learned about forces, specifically force diagrams, and how that mass and motion and friction and acceleration all interact with each other. And this was the last one that we were able to get to. This is Waves Intro. Same thing, again, it's called Intro, but the other one is just giving the students a little more creative freedom to do what they want within the simulation. But I always start with these, that way we can kind of get the same experience.